I be without you guys? Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're ready to get started. Okay, so find a comfortable seated position. Take a little time to get nice and comfortable, easy in your seat. And then if it feels available, hands just wherever feels the most comfortable right now. Close your eyes down and just take a few nice deep breaths here. As you start to settle in here, just kind of tune in and notice. First, start by just noticing your physical body. And if there's any little readjustments that you can make so that you're sitting more comfortably in your physical body, take a second to rearrange yourself. And then if all is feeling good, you're just going to tune in and notice the natural rhythm of your breath. So notice, are you breathing in through your nose or through your mouth? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. If you're breathing in through your nose, can you notice, does one side feel a little bit more congested than the other, or just does it feel like there's a more narrow passway through one nostril than the other? There's no right or wrong, but just kind of tune in and notice the passage of airway coming in and out of the nose. Still sticking with that awareness of breath. But now notice, if you were tuning in and noticing the breath coming in and out of your nose or in and out of your mouth, did you pick up any tension in your face or in your third eye center? So if you're scrunched up your eyebrows or tensed up your jaw, can you relax your jaw? Can you soften the space between your eyes, but still pay attention to the breath coming in and out? And then for a moment here, see if you can notice the quality of your breath. So notice, are you breathing deep or shallow? There's no right or wrong, but are you breathing up into the collarbones and just up into the shoulders? Or do you feel a little bit of expansiveness of the breath down in the rib cage and in the abdomen? And then before we get deeper involved with the breath, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, we're going to bring a light bit of movement in, and then we're going to hit our breath practice to get started. So as you inhale, just gently lift your chin upward just to bring a little movement into the neck, the throat, and the head. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin gently down toward your chest. Inhale and lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. One more time here. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down, and now we're going to move into the whole spine. So seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, little arch of the back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin toward your chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time through here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round, and then find a neutral spine. And then you're going to choose the variation that feels the best to you. So you might choose to just keep a hand on the belly or the solar plexus if it helps you find that pumping abdomen. We're going to do our Kapalabhati, or that skull shining breath. So that's that nice pumping breath where we sharpen the exhale and then we have a passive inhalation. So hand on the belly is an easy way to find that pumping of the abdomen. More traditional shape, you might choose to tuck your thumbs into your palms, wrap your fingers around, and hold your arms up and overhead. So that creates a little bit more heat and energy in your center. So if you're like, I'd like to be somewhere in the middle, wherever your hands feel the most comfortable, I'm gonna set a timer. So first we're gonna practice just a quick little round, and then we're gonna get into it. So find your handhold that you like the best. And then we're just gonna take 10 slow, sharp exhalations. So take your inhale, a little bit passive, and then imagine that there's a little bug up your nose, and you're just gonna blow it out. And then take your passive inhalation, blow it out. Take your passive inhalation, blow it out. Passive inhalation, blow it out. Passive inhalation, blow it out. Passive inhalation, and blow it out. Passive inhale, exhale. Take about 3 more with that slow pattern. Now, the slow pattern might be the thing for you, but if you want to pick up the pace, you're going to find your own rhythm, and I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. If your hands up in the air starts to feel a little much, just relax them down. But now you're just going to find that rhythm that works best for you. You might choose to close your eyes down. One more sharp exhale, and then float your arms down. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then we're going to move right into our next set of breath work. So it's going to look like a cat and cow. You're going to find that arching of the back and the rounding of the back. But now we're going to go a little bit more Kundalini style with this. And we're going to add a rapid bit of breath. So you're going to inhale as you lift the chest and exhale as you round. But now you're going to start to find a quick paced rhythm that works good for you. You want to make sure that you feel safe and comfortable in your spine. If the range of motion that I'm showing right here feels like it's going to be a little bit much, then you're going to keep it smaller and lighter, but you're still going to attach that bit of breath work. So you're going to inhale as you lift your chest, exhale as you round. Same thing here. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute, and then you're just going to breathe at the pace that you like best. Inhale to lift, exhale to round, and then you're just going to take it at your breath's rhythm. How fast you choose to go is totally up to you. It will build up a little bit of heat. The timer is already set, so find your rhythm. If it helps you find it, close your eyes down. Take one more cycle of breath, and then find a nice neutral spine. Fingertips are going to float up to the shoulders. And the last cycle of breath that we're going to do is going to be a little rotational breath. So you'll exhale to one side, inhale to the other side. Find that physical motion first, and then see if you can attach the breath. And then again here, how fast or slow you go, that is just totally up to you. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. You inhale to one side, you exhale to the other side, and you take it at your pace. Take one more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, come back to center, float your hands down, take a nice, generous inhalation. Slow but mindful exhalation. Allow your shoulders to soften, relax your jaw. Nice, deep breath in, fill your lungs up. Nice, slow breath out. 3 more cycles of breath here, just finding a more natural rhythm of breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Right hand's going to reach up. Take a nice big side bend, just far and as deep into it as feels good to you. And then focus on that top hand. Gently pull the thumb back just a little bit. Rotate your head, look up towards the sky. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, lift up and take it over to the other side. As deep into that side bend as you like. Pause for a moment to notice your sits bones, make sure they're nice and anchored on the ground, and then pay attention to that top thumb. Gently draw it back just a little bit, turn your head, look up towards the sky. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up, take it right into a seated twist. Right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand behind you. Think about getting nice and tall. And then if you can, think about turning your head nice and far, looking back over your back shoulder. Beautiful. Release your twist and take it over to the other side. Nice. And then when you're ready, release, come back to center, lean back into your sits bones, swing your legs out and take it into some light windshield wipers. Just a little bit of movement in the knees, a little bit of movement in the hips. Notice how everything is feeling here. And then when you feel ready, we're going to take it into a little seated ragdoll. So you're just going to step your feet as far forward as feels good to you. Keep a super generous bend in the knees. Reach your arms up, think up and over, lifting up and over. And as you exhale, reach toward your toes. If you can touch your toes, cool. If you don't want to touch your toes, that's okay too. So you just fold far as feels good to you. And then once you're there, soften through the back of the body. Notice the breath in the back of your rib cage. Take a nice full inhalation. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, nice and slow, walk yourself back up. And now we're going to spin it around into a tabletop position. So come on to all fours, just in any way that you like, and then just take a second to make sure everything feels good. So if you like to cushion your knees or cushion your wrists, take a second to do that. And then once you found your way there, we're going to slide the right foot back, curl the toes under, and just take a few gentle rocks forward and back. Beautiful. Now, the next time your shoulders come in line with the wrist, stay there. Keep that leg extended, lift it up to hip height, and then just touch the toe back down to the ground. Lift it up to hip height, touch the toe back down. Do that one more time. Lift it up to hip height, touch it back down, slide that foot in, switch over to the other side. Left leg slides back, toes curled under. Take a few rocks forward and back. Beautiful. Now, the next time your shoulders come in line with the wrist, stay there. Lift that leg up to hip height, touch the toe back down. Lift it up to hip height, touch the toe back down. Do that one more time. Lift it up, touch it down. Nice. And then slide that leg in, move right into puppy pose. So knees are going to stay in line with the hips. Hands are going to walk towards the front edge of your mat. How wide you make your arms be, that's just whatever feels the most comfortable to you. Make some space for yourself so that your chest and your forehead can sink down. And then once you're there, take 3 nice big breaths. When you feel ready, slowly bring it back up to your tabletop position, but now we're going to take it into a crooked table. So right arm is going to stay straight, left elbow and forearm are going to come down. That's going to create our support in the upper body. And then we're going to take it first with some little fire hydrants. So we're going to lift the right knee up and out to the side, lower it back down with control. Lift it up and out to the side, lower it with control. Lift it up and out to the side, lower it with control. And now we're gonna lift it and hold. So you're gonna lift it up and out to the side, hold it there. But now can you rotate the heel up towards the ceiling and then rotate the heel back down? Rotate your heel up towards the ceiling, rotate it back down. Nice, one more just like that. Rotate your heel up towards the ceiling, rotate the heel back down, lower your knee with control, switch your crooked table over to the other side. Right elbow and forearm down, lift the left leg out and up to the side, lower it back down with control. Lift it out to the side, lower it with control. One more time, lift it out to the side, lower it with control. And then this time we're gonna lift and hold. So lift the leg out to the side, hold it there, lift the heel upward towards the ceiling, lower it back to hip height. Lift it up towards the ceiling, lower it to hip height. Nice, one more time, lift it up towards the ceiling, beautiful. Lower it to hip height, release that knee down, come back through your tabletop position, move right into cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back. Keep that going. Find your breath's rhythm and find a pace and a depth of work that feels good to you. Take one more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, find a neutral spine. We're going to curl both sets of toes under and hover our table. So we're going to find a little strength in our center. Lifting the kneecaps up away from the floor, just about an inch or two, just enough so that we find that strength in our center, a little strength in our shoulders. Hold it there nice and steady. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your knees down, but keep your toes curled under. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Take 3 breaths here. Awesome. When you're ready, slowly bring yourself forward. Release your toes if you like to. We're going to move down onto the belly, finding our way into a Sphinx position. So elbows and forearms are going to come down to the ground. Maybe you'll walk yourself back into a nice little low plank and pause there for a moment just to find that little bit of strength in your center. And then once you feel like you're ready, release your knees down, release your toes, float right into that Sphinx position. Tailbone is going to draw towards the heels to create that space in the low back. Elbows pull gently towards the rib cage, so we create a little bit of tension between the shoulder blades. Press up between the press up through the crown of your head. Gaze forward, take a nice full inhalation. Slow exhalation. 2 more cycles of breath. See if you can tune in here for a second and notice the breath in your rib cage and notice the breath in your abdomen. Nice. Now from here, we're going to add an element of strength. So we're going to press firm into the hands. You're going to pull the abdominal muscles up away from the floor. So you're going to feel the abdominal muscles pull up and see if you can lift the hip points away from the floor and then release them back down with control. And then we'll do that again. Pull the abdomen up, lift the hip points away from the floor, a little bit of broadness in the shoulders to help support that movement, and then release back down with control. One more time here, lifting up. Beautiful, lowering all the way down. And then we're going to swing the hands out just a little bit. So you're going to rotate your hands so they're pointing towards the corners of your mat. Once you found your way there, press into your palms, lift your elbows up away from the floor, lower your elbows back down with control. Lift your elbows up away from the floor, lower the elbows back down with control. Lift the elbows up away from the floor, hold there, gaze forward, soften your bum just as much as you can. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then gently lower your elbows down. We're going to come all the way down. Take a second to just kind of relax your back, relax your tush. And then we're going to take it into some scorpion twists. So we're going to take our arms out, maybe in a sort of a W shape. So however you configure your arms is just really going to be what's the most comfortable in your upper body. But now we're going to pick up the left leg. We're going to reach that foot up nice and high towards the ceiling. And then can you step that foot over and across the body to the right? bring it back in with control, switch over to the other side, pick your right leg up, lift it up nice and high, so high that you roll over onto that left hip. Beautiful. Bring it back in with control. Back over to the other side. Left leg lifts, touches over and across. Bring it back in with control. Same thing to the other side. Lovely. One more time each side. Beautiful. And then the next time you come back through center, slide your hands in. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up just a little bit. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. On this one, we're going to lift and hold. So inhale, lift your heart up. Hold that position. Lift your hands away from the floor. Feel the strength in your back. Nice. And then when you're ready, push your way up through tabletop all the way back to child's pose. So big toes together, knees together. Draw your butt back towards your heels. And then if it feels good, slide your hands back and let your hands touch the soles of your feet. One more breath here, and then we're going to take it into that strong back airplane arms. So as you inhale, you're going to let your hands lift away from the soles of the feet, lift your chest away from your thighs so we get a little bit of strength in the back of the body and a little reach through the fingers, and then soften back down. Inhale and lift up, find that strength. Exhale and soften back down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to soften down. And now we're going to come up into a high kneel position. So push into the tops of the feet, into the tops of the shins, lift up, sweep your arms up and overhead. As you come through, bring your hands to heart center. And then we're going to take it into a Z sit, but we're going to keep our hands in prayer position. So walk your knees maybe just a little bit further so your knees are in line with your hip points. Prayer hands to heart center. And we're going to think about pulling the pubic bone up or keeping the pubic bone connected to the ribs. So we want to feel a little sense of tightness in the abdomen. So keep that tightness in the abdomen if you can. Lean back just a little bit. Keep that nice planking spine. Keep your palms pressing together. Come forward, back to that position. Beautiful. Lean back and come forward. One more time here. Lean back. Come forward and then release your hands into your tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to a downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs here if that feels good. Gently move your hips. Gently move your shoulders. Any little bit of movement here that might feel nice. Awesome. One more pedal of each leg. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice soft ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. Hands to the floor, hands to the elbows, just whatever grab works good for you here, but just take a second to find that nice heavy dangle. Let your head hang nice and heavy. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, if you're holding onto your elbows, release your fingers to the ground, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, nice and slow and controlled, roll your way up to a standing position, and then just take a second as you come on up to get yourself all fixed up at the front end of your mat. And then we're going to take it into a mountain pose with our heel lifts. So toes and knees pointing fairly forward, hands down at your sides, a nice energetic lift up through the crown of your head, and then bring it right down to your feet. Inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Exhale, lower your heels back down. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale to lower down. This time we're going to lift and hold. Inhale, lift your heels, hold there, nice and strong. Nice steady breath. One more breath, but then we're going to sink the heels down and sink into a chair pose. So as you settle the heels down, arms are going to raise up. Think butt back, bend your knees, sink into that chair, take one big breath. Push firm into your feet. On your next inhale, rise up. As you exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale, reach up, grab that imaginary beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink into your chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink into your chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus the arms, look to the sky. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale, sink into your chair. And then from this chair position, we're going to take it into a fold. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, fold your way down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold, find some length in your spine. Exhale to soften back down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come through a tabletop position. We're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right pinky finger, so a nice wide position. Find that wide position first, and then we're going to curl the back toes under, rearrange that back knee so it's going to feel good. And you're going to pick the knee up, touch the knee back down. Pick the knee up, touch the knee back down. Nice. One more just like that. Pick the knee up, touch the knee down, slide your right leg back through your tabletop. Then we're going to take it right to the other side. So the left foot's going to step to the outside of the left pinky finger. Rearrange that back knee so it's in a good position. And then once you're there, curl those back toes under. Pick the back knee up, lower it back with control. Pick the back knee up, lower it with control. One more time here. Pick the back knee up, lower it with control. Step the left leg back. We're going extended child's pose. So big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Bring your butt back towards your heels. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to sit back on our heels. So you're going to walk your hands up and in so that you're sitting back on your heels, and then just make sure that this feels like a comfortable enough position for you. Prayer hands are going to come together, and we're going to find a little strength here. So we're going to keep the prayer hands pressing in towards each other, push into the tops of the feet and the shins, lift up, and then butt back towards the heels, sink back into that little seat. Nice. Push into the tops of the feet, lift up. Beautiful. Set your butt back towards your heels. One more time here, lift up, set your butt back down, and then we're going to float the hands forward, lift yourself up into your tabletop position, walk your knees in, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog, really quick in that downward facing dog, and then we're just going to walk forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold, keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up, hands to heart center, hands down at your side. Pause just for a moment here in your mountain pose. Feel that nice energetic lift that comes from the soles of the feet, lifted up through the crown of your head. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Nice. And then just take a second to make sure your legs feel like they're in a really good, strong and solid position. So anything feels wobbly, take a second to kind of do that little rearrange. Now we're going to bring the hands behind the head. Head is going to push into the hands. Hands are going to create a little bit of resistance. We're going to dip that front elbow towards the front knee. Use the side body strength to come back up nice and strong. Dip the front elbow towards the front knee. Bring it back up nice and strong. Head is still pushing into the hands resist. Bend that front elbow towards the front knee, lift back up, and now we're going to reverse it. Drop the back elbow back, rotate just a little bit like you're trying to pull that top elbow back so you can look up towards the sky, and then release your hands, float through that warrior 2. And now we're going to move here with the breath. Inhale, straighten the front leg, raise your arms up. Exhale, bend and bring it back down. Nice. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift your arms up. Exhale, bend and bring it down. One more time through here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend and bring it down. Cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Pivot your back heel. 3 little dips of that back knee. Touch the knee down. Lift it back up. Touch the knee down. Lift it back up. One more time. Touch the knee down. Lift it back up. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. Once you found that plank, right away, bring your knees down. Rotate the eyes of your elbows. Hug your elbows into your ribs. Lower with control. 1 low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down, push your way through tabletop, curl the toes under, Exhale up to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high into three-legged dog, and we're going to go 3 times knee to elbow. So start with the leg up nice and high, right knee towards the left elbow. So come across the body, shoot that leg up nice and high. Bring it over towards the right elbow, shoot that leg up nice and high. Bring knee towards the nose, get a little bit of a rounding through the back of your body. Shoot that leg up nice and high, and then we're going to step that foot through to the top of your mat. So step it as far forward as you like to go. And then once you've found your way there, step the back foot up to meet, find a nice little forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior 2 to the other side. Drop the heel down, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. And then just take a second to make sure that you feel nice and strong and solid in that position. Readjust your legs as needed. And then once you feel like you're there, hands behind the head. Hands are going to create a little resistance as the head pushes into the hands. And then we're dipping forward. Front elbow towards that front knee. Use the side body muscles to come up nice and strong. Front elbow towards the front knee. Come back up nice and strong. Front elbow towards the front knee. Come up nice and strong. Reverse it. Drop the back elbow. Lift up. A light rotation. Turn your head, look up towards the ceiling. And then release it back through that warrior 2. And then we move with the breath. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Raise your arms up. Exhale, bend and bring it back down. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale it down. Spin those hands down to the ground. Pivot that back foot. Now you've got your lunge. Touch that back knee down. Lift the back knee up. Touch the back knee down. Lift the back knee up. One more time. Touch that back knee down. Lift it up. Plant your palms. Step back through plank. Once you found your plank, right away, bring your knees down. Rotate the eyes of your elbows. Lower with control. Inhale up to a low cobra. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up through a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Left leg is going to come up into that three-legged dog position. Left knee towards the right elbow. Bring it in for a little squeeze. Send that leg up nice and high. Left knee towards the left elbow. Bring it in for a little squeeze. Send it up nice and high. Left knee towards the nose. Get a little rounding through the back of your body. Send that leg up nice and high. Beautiful. And then step that foot through to the top of your mat, just as far as it goes. Help it along the rest of the way. Nice. And then step that back foot up to meet. Find your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees. Push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Grab that beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink into a chair. Hold that chair position nice and strong. One more inhalation, and then on your next exhalation, fold your way down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. Step both feet back to down dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high, three-legged dog. You're going to bend that knee, let the hip roll open. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot up to the top right corner of the mat. So find that nice wide lunge position. Once you found that wide lunge position, we're going to drop the back knee down. So hopefully here you have a little bit of space through the front of the body. Now left hand is going to stay on the ground. Right hand is going to do the work. You're going to take that right hand, thread it underneath the left, like you're reaching through, over and across, and then lift it up, reach that hand up to the sky. Same thing again, take that hand, thread it through, reach underneath the left arm, pick that hand up nice and high, look up towards the sky. Last time here, reaching through. This time as you reach up, stay here, take an extra cycle of breath. Nice. Now, can you keep that hand lifted up towards the sky? Can you keep your gaze up towards the ceiling? Can you curl your back toes under and pick your back knee up? Beautiful. Plant that hand down to the ground. We're going to plant both hands and then kick that front leg back to a three-legged dog. So shoot it up nice and high. Take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, release that foot down to the ground. We're going to switch over to the other side. Left leg is going to come up nice and high. Bend the knee. Let the hip roll open. Step that foot up to the top left corner of your mat. So finding that nice wide position. Beautiful. Bring the back knee down. Right hand's going to stay on the ground. Now the left hand is going to do the work. So we're threading through and underneath the right and then lifting it up nice and high. Thread it through and underneath. Reach it up nice and high. Thread it through and underneath. Reach it up nice and high and stay there. Look up towards the sky. Take a nice big breath. Can you keep your gaze up towards that hand? Curl the back toes under. Pick your back knee up. Beautiful. Plant that left hand down and we're going to kick that left leg back into the three-legged dog. So slide that foot back, lift it up nice and high. Beautiful. And then release that foot down. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position, back to child's pose. So knees together, toes together. Pull your butt back towards your heels, slide your hands back, let your hands touch the soles of your feet. Take one more breath. We're going to lift up into our high kneel position and then come into a little bit of a camel position. So when you feel ready, press into the tops of your feet and your shins, lift up into your high kneel, but right away, bring your hands into your back pockets, hips come forward, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Find a nice gentle back bend here. So nothing extreme. Make sure there's no pain in your back, but a little opening through the front line of the body. Take a nice full inhalation. Slow exhalation. And then when you're ready with control, we're going to release the hands down to the ground, curl the toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, bring your butt back, bend your knees, lift right into a chair position from here. Take one more breath as we rise up to a nice strong position. Left hand's going to stay up in the air. Right hand's going to touch down to the thigh. Take it right into a little side bend. Lean over to the right. Lift up and take that side bend over to the other side. Beautiful. Lift up. Both hands are going to swim behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Draw the knuckles down towards the heels. Pull the arms away from the back of the body. Open through that front heart space. Lift your chin up to the sky. One more breath. And now we're going to release from here back into a chair pose. So unlace your fingers, float your arms up, exhale, sink into your chair. Take one big breath. As you exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Right leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. We're going to step that right foot up to the top right corner of the mat. Once you're there, bring the back knee down. Left hand's going to stay on the ground. Right hand's going to reach up for a nice big twist. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Release that hand down. And then like you're doing half splits, you're going to pull the hips back. Reach through the front toes. So rather than letting the front toes pull up and lift with you, keep the front toes reaching towards the front end of your mat. So hopefully here you find a little stretch or sensation through the front of that right foot. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. We're going to kick that right leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. Send it up nice and high with control. Float that foot down to your down dog. We're going to switch right over to the other side. Left leg is going to come up nice and high, three-legged dog. Step that foot up to the top left corner of your mat. Bring that back knee down. Right hand stays down. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Beautiful. Left hand's going to touch down and we're pulling the hips back like you're coming to half splits, but it's just a little bit of a wider position. And then we're just taking a little variation, reaching the toes towards the front of the mat. So you feel that little stretch through that front left ankle. Nice. When you're ready, rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, send that left leg back up to your three-legged dog. Lovely. And then float that foot down, lower back into your tabletop position. Take 3 cat-cows. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. Nice. One more time through. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. Inhale to a neutral spine, curl your toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel, turn toes out. Right hand picks you up. Right away, hands behind the head. Front elbow towards that front knee. Nice and strong through the side of the body. Lift up and reverse. Back elbow reaches towards that back thigh. Float through warrior 2. Release your hands. One time with the breath. Straighten the front leg. Raise your arms up. Bend that knee, bring the arms back down, gaze forward, cartwheel your hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel, one little tap of that back knee down, pick that back knee up, plant your palms, step back to plank. Right away, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. One cobra here, just as high as you like. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale, either take it through a table or up to your down dog, totally up to you. Right leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open for one breath. And then we're going to step that right foot up to the top right corner of the mat. Nice wide lunge position. Keep that back knee lifted up. Left hand's going to stay on the ground. Right hand's going to reach up. Beautiful. Bring that hand down to the ground. Turn the right toes out. Make a little space. Hop your left foot up to meet. Nice wide position here. And then when you feel ready, a little wag of the tail. Rock your knees a little side to side. Lift your butt up just slightly, toe heel your feet into about hip width distance apart, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, left hand picks you up. Hands behind the head, create that little resistance. Front elbow towards the front knee. Lift up with control, back elbow towards the thigh. Lift back through center, release your hands one time with the breath. Inhale, raise your arms up, straighten that front leg. Bend and bring it back down. Beautiful, spin your hands around and down. Touch that back knee down. Lift it back up, plant your palms, step back to plank. Both knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower gently down onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale up to down dog or through a table to down dog. Left leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, maybe let the hip roll open, and then step that foot up to the top left corner of your mat. Right hand's gonna stay down, left hand's gonna reach up to the sky. Release that left hand down, turn your left toes out, and now we're gonna come into our malasana, our nice low squat. So step that right foot up to meet, sink your butt down, and then settle into that squat with as much depth as you like. Elbows to the inner thighs, prayer hands together, nice tall lifted spine. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, with control, settle your butt down to the ground, bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right, right into your cobbler's position. Readjust anything that you need to, and then we're going to take it into a light little fold. So you're just going to lean your heart forward just a little bit, just to a point that feels nice, and then come back to your breath for a moment. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. Lift up through the crown of your head. Let your heart follow. Help your knees come together. We're going to roll our way down to the ground. So curl your tailbone under. Control your abdominal muscles, lower with control all the way down to the ground. Nice. And then once you found your way down, just give your back a second, let it settle in. You've done a little bit of heated work this morning, so just kind of notice the warmth in your body, notice your breath. Awesome. When you're ready, soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Come back to a butterfly position. Take one breath here. Cool. And then we're going knees together, thighs together, big toes together. So bring those inner thighs together. Push your knees actively in towards each other and hold that strong position. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that. Step your feet to hip width distance apart. Hands down alongside the hips, halfway bridge. Exhale, lift your hips up away from the ground, but keep the backs of your ribs anchoring down towards the ground. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, with control, release your hips back down. Right leg is going to come across the left into a figure 4 position. Once you've got your right leg across the left, lift your left leg up, thread your hands through with a loose handhold. We're going to wobble the figure 4 a little side to side. Lovely. One more little wobble of that figure 4 side to side. And then with as much depth as you like, gently draw the legs in toward your chest. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then release. And now we're going to slide that right leg across like you're crossing your legs in a chair. So now knees are going to be stacked, and then you're going to re-grab. So maybe you'll grab the shins or the tops of the feet. That's just whatever handhold works better for you. Draw the knees in towards your chest and then move them away slightly. And now we're going to add a head turn. So as you draw the knees in toward your chest, turn your head in one direction. Release, head returns to center. And then as you draw the knees into the chest, head's going to turn in the opposite direction. And bring it back to center. Nice. And then when you're ready, unwind your legs, set them down for a second, take a nice full breath. Beautiful. Left leg is going to come across the right into figure 4 to the other side. Lift your right leg up, thread your hands through to a light handhold, and then wobble your figure 4 a little side to side. Awesome. And then when you're ready, draw your legs in just a little closer. Beautiful. Releasing that just a little bit so that you can slide that left leg across the right. So like you're crossing your legs in a chair, knees are stacked, and then re-grab. Maybe the shins, maybe the tops of the feet. Gently draw the knees in towards your chest. Head is in a neutral position, and then release. And then this time as you draw the knees in, turn your head to one side. Bring it back in. Head returns to center. Bring the knees in, turn your head to the other side. Bring it back in, head returns to center, and then release, unwind your legs, set both feet down, toe heel them out to the edges of your mat, and come back to some windshield wipers here, dropping the knees gently side to side. Awesome. The next time your knees drop over to the right, let them sink all the way down. See how that feels. Specifically notice your left knee and the front of your left hip. And then if that's feeling like it's already at the edge where you would like to be, you're going to stay right there. If that feels great, but you want just maybe a little bit more sensation, you're going to pick your right foot up, stack it on top of the outside of the left, and then let your knees sink back down again. One more breath. If your foot is stacked, gently release it. Pick your knees up to center and then drop them right across over the other way. So let your knees drop over to the left, let them sink down. Pay attention to that right front pocket area, right knee. Make sure all of that feels good. You may already be at your edge, and one side does not need to look the same as the other. So just make sure you're staying safe and comfortable in your body. If all of that feels good, stack your left leg on top of the right. Let the knees sink back down. Nice. And then if that foot is stacked, go ahead and gently release it. Float the knees back to center. And then now we're just going to take a little peek, make sure that your knees feel like they're in line with the hips. So we're going to have a little bit of space between the knees in line with those front hip points. And then once you feel like you're there, left knee is going to stay bent. Right leg is going to extend nice and long, but the heel is going to hover above the ground. So we're going to try to keep that heel hovering. We're going to lift the right leg up so that both knees line up, and then lower that heel back down with control, but let it hover. Lift the leg up, let it come in line with the knee. Lower it back down with control. Lift the leg up, let it be in line with the knee, and then we're going to keep that leg in line with the knee. We're going to rotate so the toe turns out, rotate it so the toe turns back up towards the ceiling. Rotate, toe turns out, toe back up towards the ceiling. Toe out to the side, back up towards the ceiling. And now we're going to pull that knee gently into the chest, give a light little squeeze. And now we're going to re-grab the back of the thigh. Once you've got the back of the thigh, you're going to pull that thigh up as close to your chest and keep it tight, nice and tight. So we're going to stretch the hamstrings, but we're not going to straighten the leg so much as feel that tug in the back of the thigh. So keep that thigh nice and tight towards your chest. Keep a little bit of a flex in your foot, and then imagine you're pushing your heel up towards the ceiling just to the point where you can't go anymore. Once you hit that tension, take one gentle breath, and then when you're ready, soften and float that heel down. Keep that thigh nice and close to the chest. Push your heel up towards the ceiling. Go only as far as your body allows, and then bend and bring it back down. Lovely. One more time here. Keep the thigh nice and tight to the chest. Flex the foot. Push your heel up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And then with control, gently float that heel down, set that foot down. We're going to come over to the left leg, slide the left leg long, but the heel is going to hover. We're going to pick that leg up to knee height, lower it back down with control, but let the heel hover. Pick the leg up, knee meets the knee, lower it back down with control. Nice. Lift it up to knee height, lower it with control. And then this time we're going to lift up to knee height, hold it there. And then we're going to add that external rotation. So toe is going to turn out, toe is going to go back up towards the ceiling. Toe turns out, back up towards the ceiling, toe turns out, back up towards the ceiling, pull that knee into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze. And now we're holding onto the back of the thigh. So we're going to keep that thigh hugged as tight to the chest as you can. Flex your foot a little bit. Push your heel up towards the ceiling just to the point where you feel that tension in the back of the thigh, and then you can't go any further. When you're ready, soften that leg back down. Push your heel up towards the ceiling, feel that nice little tension or stress in the back of the leg, and then release it back down. Do that one more time. Push your heel up towards the ceiling. Nice. And then release it back down. Release that leg down to the ground. Pause just for a moment and notice. Cool. And then if you like, let your knees kind of come into a little bit of a constructive rest situation. Arms are going to come into our I Dream of Genie arms, so a little square across the chest. Take a couple of gentle pulls side to side. And now whatever arm is on top of that little crisscross, you're going to slide it across. So now you're going to catch hold of your shoulders. Elbows are going to line up. Inhale, lift your elbows up toward your face. Exhale and draw your elbows down toward your abdomen. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, pull your elbows down. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, pull your elbows down. As you come into a slightly neutral position, you're just going to check to see which hand is on top. And now you're just going to kind of switch. So get back to your I Dream of Genie arms with the other arm on top, and then take a couple little pulls side to side. Awesome. And then the next time you come back through center, you're going to slide those arms across so the elbows are stacked. Hold on to the shoulders. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, pull your elbows down. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Exhale, draw them down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull them down. Arms are going to come into that neutral position. Open all the way up into cactus or goalpost arms and turn your head a little side to side. And then as you start to find this softer movement here, ask your body, where would be your best Shavasana? When you feel ready, start to find your way there. You might choose to stay with constructive rest. You might choose to take legs up the wall. You might choose to take a more traditional shape, or maybe you come to a reclined cobbler's pose. So whatever variation feels like a nice place for you to be this morning. And I can't believe I'm saying this already, but if it's chilly in the room that you're working in, perhaps you throw a blanket on or your socks or your sweater. So make sure that you're coming into your Shavasana in a nice, comfortable way. And then once you found a position that feels good, take a second to kind of work out all those little wiggles. Let your body find a nice, happy, soft place to be. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel called to do so, or if your day requires it, maybe you'll start to gently reawaken. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, invite any movement in that feels good to your body. And then as you start to reawaken, maybe if it feels good, take it into a big good morning stretch like a yawn. Arms up and overhead, legs nice and long. Take a nice full breath back into your body. Awesome. And then in your own way and at your own pace, find your way back up to a comfortable seated position. So coming up to Sukhasana, if that feels like a nice place to sit, or any other posture that feels good and just lets you sit up nice and tall. And then if you're wearing glasses, I'll say just for a second, take them off, place them somewhere safe, and we're just going to fire up our palms. So get your palms nice and good and warm, create a little bit of heat, a little bit of friction. Let that warmth and energy come up your arms a little bit. You might even feel some work happening up in your shoulders. And then once you feel like your hands are nice and good and hot, heels of the hands into the eyes, and you're just going to gently let your head tip forward. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, keeping your head tipped gently toward your heart. Release your hands and just stack them right on top of your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take another nice big inhale. And as you exhale, let your shoulders soften. Soften your jaw and think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your morning. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday. You guys are so amazing.